We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. I'm Stephen Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, and this is the Land Academy Show.
This is episode number 2072. Today, Jill and I are talking about the 5 questions to ask yourself before you attempt to create more wealth in your land investment business. More wealth to you could mean I need to create some wealth, more than zero. Or it could mean I'm at $100,000 a year. I'd like to make it $300,000 and on. Just more wealth than you're already have created for yourself now. This week, in case you already don't know, we are talking about the topic is the secret recipe for success in the land investment business. You know, Jill and I have been doing this for 30 plus years. So we've noticed buying and selling land for 30 years and running Land Academy for almost 10. We've noticed some consistencies in people who are successful.
And ourselves.
Yeah. and we've gone through now, it's been enough time, some of the phases in our land investment business right alongside members.
Multiple times.
Each day on the show, we answer a question from our Land Academy member Discord forum and take a deep dive into land-related topics by popular request.
Okay, Kimberly wrote, "Hi, I'm finishing up a self-close on a deal. Yay, and I have a few questions. Number 1, do I need title insurance now or when I sell? 2, I'm working on neighbor letters. It has some great market value. Is this what I'm pricing it at when I go to the market? Or do I look at the assessed market value from the county? And then number 3, anyone else have experience with a self-close who wants to chime in with the details of their experience? I'm all ears. I'm so nervous I'm going to screw something up. So, all right.
This is you.
All right. I was going to say that. So I'm looking, I'm like, do you need to say anything? Get it out now. Otherwise, I got this. Okay. Do I need title insurance now or when I sell? You do not need it now. You can get it now. It kind of depends on really the property. So for me, most of the time, if I'm quickly buying without title insurance, there's usually a reason why. And I will not choose to do title insurance, which you can. It's against property specific, but most of the time I'm not going to get it right away. I'm not going to close escrow or not even close escrow. I bought the property. It's in my name. I did all my due diligence. So I feel really great about it. I'm not going to run and open up title right now and get title while I'm selling the property because it's going to happen at that time probably anyway. So, and then it's really property specific. And this, by the way, Kimberly, I don't know when this question was put in here, but just last month in the beginning, or this month actually, the beginning of November, my whole Land Gals, the Land Academy Women's Group, we get together once a month. This was my whole presentation, and I talked about this in great detail. Doing a self-close, what's involved, how to do it, what are the steps, what are some paperwork involved, how do I get the title, and all those little things. Oh, yeah, I covered the whole thing in the group. So it's fresh in my mind,
for you,
too.
Jill.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. And the reason I brought it up is because it's the end of the year, and there sometimes are situations you can grab some great properties at the end of the year because people want to get it sold, but you don't have time to close with escrow and title insurance. So that's why I went through the whole thing. So everybody's ready and prepared and knows what makes it okay to do it. And when you just have to go, nope, I don't feel comfortable. I need to go through escrow. We're going to do it in January. Oh, well, even if I pay more for it, it's going to have to be that way. So the whole thing is with title insurance, personally, my last deals have been, I did it then when I sold the property. And then depending on the property, I offer it to the person. Because let me give you one example. What if it is a recreational hunting property? It's half wetlands. It's perfect for geese, whatever it is. It will never be built upon. Then I throw it to my buyer. Look, I'm happy to open escrow. We can go the traditional way, get title insurance so you have that. Or if you don't want to spend the extra money and, because we're both going to eat some extra costs here, I can sell it to you we can do this without title insurance and you could happily hunt on it and do your thing and it's going to work out great. Done. Okay. Question number 2, working on the neighbor letters. And she's figuring out right now how to price it. So the question is clearly, Kimberly's going to try to pre-sell it by sending a letter to all the people in the vicinity Maybe it's in a couple mile radius, or maybe it's the whole zip code, whatever numbers come back with, I'm going to guess a couple hundred people. This is a great way to sell property. How do I price it? I do not look at the assessed anything. That is so often not correct, years behind, and not even used realistically. In our world, it's used to base their taxes on it. So I don't even go there. So, and an easy way to look this up is look at your own property. You get those letters in the mail. They might assess your property at $100,000, but down the street, one just sold for $5 million. So you're like, that doesn't make any sense. And most people who are smart are not going to say, I'm going to call the assessor and I want to get this updated to say, hey, the house down the street sold for $500,000. You have mine assessed at $100,000. Because what will happen is the assessor will go, well, thank you for telling me. Now we're going to tax you as if you have a $500,000 asset instead of a $100,000 asset. You're going to go, oh, whoops, I don't want that. Leave it at 100. This is what I'm talking about. It's so often out of whack or behind from what's really going on in the world. So how do I price it? Look what's going on. Do some time, look at comps, do your own checking. You can quickly see online what things are being marketed for, price per acre, what they've sold in the last 3, 6 months, 12 months, price per acre, and then price your property based on that. And I would say, you want to come below that. You're sending out a neighbor letter because you're basically, sharing with the planet, look, I don't have an agent. I don't want to pay commissions. This is an off-market deal, and this is your chance to buy this property at a great price. This is what it is. And by the way, if it doesn't sell, I'm going to list, if it doesn't sell between now and the end of the year, let's just say, I'm going to put it on the market for this. So, because I know it can happen. And that will also spark some, call to action and interest for anybody who really is interested. And then the 3 thing, anyone who's have experience, chime in with self-closing. Boy, I do. So go back, Kimberly. I think I know who this Kimberly is. Go back and watch. Oh, shoot. Yeah, you know what? I didn't record it, but I did have the slides. I'll tell you right now. In Discord, in the ladies section of Discord, I know I put the slides in there because everybody said, can we please have these? And I did it right after the call. So they're there waiting for you with all the steps. Excellent question.
Think I can possibly add anything to that?
Could you?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so.
5 questions to ask yourself before you attempt to create more wealth in your land investment business. Jill, go first, please.
So I thought about this. This is a really good topic. Thank you for bringing this up today. So what would I ask? Number 1 is, what do I want? Am I trying to gain more time or more money? That's my number 1.
Oh,
number 2, how will that change my life? If I'm trying to free up more time, like we have several examples in Land Academy of all kinds of people that are like, you're only doing 1 deal a month. Why don't you do 2 deals a month and double it? They're like, I don't want to. I don't work that hard. I love my lifestyle. I do just what I want to do, and this is it. I'm like, you know what? Touche. I get that. They value the time more than the money. They know they can double it. And it's always just sitting there waiting for them if something changes. Number 3, what should I ask myself before I attempt to create more wealth here? What will I have to sacrifice? Because you are going to give up something. And maybe it's time. Most likely it's going to be time. Number 4, is my family on board? You don't want to just go at this and say, Daddy's gone. Daddy's moved away, or mommy can never have time for you because mommy's always on the phone now. Because mommy thinks that having more money is going to make everything better, kind of thing. So you've got to think about and include your family and make sure that they're on the same page and they understand how this is going to affect them. And maybe you don't have little kids at home, but it's your partner, your friends, whatever it is. And then number 5, this to me is a biggie. Is this going to do it? Is this going to be final? Like you don't want to.
I love number 5.
You want to do this with, all right, and then I'm done. And then I'll mic drop because it's so easy. Speaking from experience here in the room I'm sitting in, it's so easy to go, I thought I was going to be happy with that. I remember when you and I said $5,000 a month was it. And they were like, no, it's 20. and then you keep changing the number. And you can't keep doing that for the rest of your life. You'll drive yourself crazy, everybody crazy.
Everyone in your life.
It's never enough. So you've got to really think about it ahead of time and go, all right, is this going to be final? And if it's not final, what is it going to be final? And then go at it like that with make a number 1 through 4 tied to number 5. That's my list.
I like when you say daddy.
Oh, you know what? There's a large number of people listening right now that just threw up in their mouth. So thank you for that. That was funny.
Either that or they said, you try saying it. There's your spouse.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Why don't you use that word, sweetheart? That's good.
Here's my 5, and they're very different, as always, than Jill's.
Good.
How does this affect my family? Never entered into my head.
That's really funny. You're like, don't care, screw them. They'll get on board. They'll change their mind when this pulls up in the driveway.
Question number 1: do I believe in this business model? Do I believe in this, or do I think, oh, those last 4 deals was just luck? And the second part of it is do I believe this is sustainable? The answer is hell yes to both. But you need to believe in that. And it's all along, you're deciding, you're sitting there saying, should I really now take this seriously? I've proven it. I've done a few deals, or I've done 50 deals. I want to do 500. Do I believe in this business model? And I'll tell you, what you're really asking yourself is, do you believe in yourself and your talent level and your ability to learn things? And then number 2 is, do I enjoy it? Do I dig this every day? Or do I hate it?
That should have been on the Jill list. I'm very proud of you.
And the chances are you're going to say something like, well, I love the data part, but I don't like the talking sales part, or vice versa. And that's why you're in Land Academy. It's to find the person, to find your Jill or your Jack. Number 3, do I have the resources to continue? I've been funding these deals myself. I don't like writing checks out of my personal checking account, and neither does my wife. Yes, you do have resources within Land Academy to leverage these deals with equity, not debt. Yeah. And the first person you should think of to help you do a deal is us. Does it fit in my life plan? That's really the theme in Jill's answers. Is this what I want? I'm trying to be a rock star, but I'm doing these deals over here, these land investment deals, just to pay the bills. That's going to end. Your life dream is to be a rock star, then go do it. Go do that. This has always not only fit in my life plan, it has been my life. Yeah. And when Joe and I just reconfirmed that, when Joe and I joined forces, and it turned out that was her untuned, untweaked life plan also. She did a bunch of real estate deals before that, very successfully, I might add. And we just put our heads together. I was doing. Put our heads together and kind of made it a thing. And then finally, and Jill nailed it, where does it end? What does the end look like, both financially and socially? My kids are 4 and 5 right now. What does it look like when they're 10 and 12? What does it look like when they're in college? What does it look like after that? My wife never liked the land business, and she's never going to like it. I can accept that. She can accept it. We're making some money. Mm-hmm. Think real, honest, straight conversations like that. And I think that the answers to those conversations will tell you what the next step is. And then not only do I, if I don't believe, like in number 1, if I don't believe in the business model, what business is going to replace it? I have to make some money. Am I going to go back to work? The real, honest, straightforward stuff. 5 questions to ask yourself before you move on. I unhealthily ask myself these questions all the time. And then I ask Jill, and she doesn't answer.
What's funny? The number 1 thing for me is number 5. Will this be final? Because that's the first, that should almost be number 1. It's kind of goes back. What do I want? And is this going to do it? You could merge those 2 together. And when you decide that, and you could paint the picture, and you need it. And this is stuff that we talk about in Career Path. What's your end game here? Are you making sure, are you taking care of just your family, your kids? Are you trying to make sure your grandkids' college is paid for? What's your real big goal here? put it on paper and see what it's going to take. How much money, how much time, how much energy, and does it all work? And then you just put yourself on autopilot and go, all right, this is what I need to do this month.
There's some milestones and things that happened in my career, probably 3 or 4 of them, that just absolutely changed my professional life forever. And they all involved finally getting the right person in place to do a job that I was doing. So I heard of a million years ago, that first employee I ever hired, just the light bulb, it was a light bulb moment for me. I'm like, wait a minute, this person's doing like 80% of the crap that I can't stand. And it's freeing me up, not to be selfish about it or spoiled about it. It's freeing me up to do the stuff that I'm good at, which is why we're here, which is locate undervalued real estate. And now I don't have to talk to the customers on the phone. So and our numbers went way up.
Yeah.
And that throughout my career, there are pivotal people that would take those positions over, so that in the end, this is before Jill, in the end, what I was allowed to do is go to work every day and locate new properties, areas and property types to buy, and then get the mail out. When I met Jill and we've professionally joined forces, it was game over. She took over that entire side of the business, did way, way better than I ever dreamt was even possible at all of that stuff. And we started making millions and millions of dollars a year. So it's all, I think, about the people that are involved. That who are you choosing to let into your relatively successful business model?
Cool. Thank you.
Join us tomorrow, and it's Friday. We're going to talk about why Jill and I have survived and thrived for 30 years together in this land investment business. I'd like to hear Jill's thoughts on that also. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.